Dr. Sirine Shoukair, please welcome her to the stage. She will be. Hi, how are you?
Hi, good. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. So happy
Thank
to
you.
have you. We
Thank you.
traveled to USA now, and she will be giving us a session on riding the ship of pharmacy career, traits and skills for success. Dr. Sirine Shoukair, she is a PharmD graduate from Ohio, USA, and she is leading the anticoagulation clinic services in Toledo Hospital, where she got trained also. She is taking part in IVPN network as patient support leader, listserv leader, and also she is a co-host in the Voice of IVPN network. Yeah, she has a long and very rich biography. Please check it in the website. And now let me welcome her, and the floor is yours. Please enrich us with your experience. Thank you.
Well, thank you. I am very happy to be here. I appreciate all of your time uh, and effort to make this a very successful conference. Can you see my full screen?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right. Thank you, Rafa, for your introduction. I will also introduce myself. So today I will take you with me to ride the ship of pharmacy career. I know, very happy to listen. I have listened to Dr. Batta's presentation and Dr. Jareen's presentation, and they also talked about having a pharmacy career. So I'm really hoping by the end of my presentation to be able to add to their presentation. And by the end of today, you will have a full batch of recipes from great people to move on with your career. I have no conflict of interest to disclose today. Just want to talk to you a little bit about myself. Rafa mentioned that I live here in the U.S. It's actually almost 4 o'clock in the morning today. I am a PharmD graduate of 2013 from the University of Toledo, College of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Science. I did complete a PGY1 residency in 2015 at Medica Toledo Hospital to do the children. It's one of the largest, actually the largest hospital that we have here in the area, 800 beds, level 1 trauma center, acute care setting. I have an experience as an intern and as a pharmacist in the retail setting. I actually started my career early on working as an intern in multiple retail pharmacies. After I finished my school, I was a staff pharmacist at Walgreens Pharmacy for about a year. Then I decided to go back and pursue my residency. After graduation from my residency, I actually managed and built an ambulatory care clinic at the University of Toledo for anticoagulation services and family medicine, where I spent about 5 years there. After that, over the past year, I am actually right now moved to Mercy St. Vincent Medical Center, where I work as an internal medicine clinical pharmacist. We focus more on an acute setting patients, and I am also a preceptor for pharmacy students and residents for their advanced practice rotations in internal medicine. And as Rafa mentioned, I am a very active member of IVPN Network. I'm actually very grateful for IVPN to introduce me to this conference today. Also, I am a leader for a patient support listserv, and I am passionate about IVPN Voice, where I host as well with my colleagues. I'm an active member in the aesthetic committee, and I am also an IVPN USA ambassador. So I try to keep myself busy in the mix of all that. I am a mom of two, and I am also a wife of a great husband. So by the end of today's presentation, I want you to be able to define your career versus a job, and being able to take some traits where you will be successful in your education, in your real life, and to also survive the unknown within your career. So I do, since I'm a clinical pharmacist, I do like case presentations, okay? But don't get bored with me. It's going to be a fun one. So this is Helen. Helen, she's a PharmD graduate, a 25-year-old. She graduated recently with her PharmD degree. She's very excited about a new offer at a retail pharmacy. Helen is a very smart and hardworking, and she loves people, and that's why she decided to accept an offer. And throughout her career, she actually used the SMART goals to move on throughout her education. And so, using your SMART goals throughout your education can actually help you achieve your degree. Um, Helen, she accepted the pay. She accepted the offer. It has a great pay, and she was ready to accept the offer. So throughout her education, she used the SMART goals to attain her degree. Well, let's review them together. So as for specific, so she basically thought about pharmacy school. Pharmacy school, you go to class, you do make be a good student, work hard, and you will get your PharmD degree. It's a specific goal, and you will become a pharmacist. Great. It is a measurable goal. So basically, you go to school, work hard, do your exams, you will have great grades, and you can measure your success by looking at your GPA. Perfect. I think that's a great way of thought. Attainability. So the goal it needs to be attainable, right? So you study hard, be serious, then you can get it. So it's easy to attain. It is realistic. I mean, of course, right? Your cousin and your uncle and your neighbor have a pharmacy degree, so if they can do it, so I can, right? And a goal needs to be time bound. So within a 5 to 7 years, you should be able to finish schooling and get your degree. That's a very great timeline. Perfect. Well, let's see what happened with Helen over the next few months. She was excited initially about being a licensed pharmacist. She was very happy. She felt like she is the happiest person on earth for achieving this goal. After so many months working, she started to lose her passion and actually started to think, where does she belong? Does she really belong there? She started to question all these times in school. And is this it? Is that where I wanted to be? Did I study all this time to feel like a number? Now what? Why I am here? These are very valuable and realistic questions that we all should be asking ourselves when we are moving throughout our career and throughout our journey in pharmacy. So first, I really want you to understand what is a career and what is a job. And Sirine, in her presentation, she did actually also define what a career is. To build your career, you really need the education, the skills, and the interest in a certain field. And you really need to set goals. A career is a field or a pursuit, like if you Google the word career, where it's a consecutive progress of achievement, especially in the public, professional, or business life, where both the career and the job can may need the same requirements: the education, the skill, and the interest. Well, the difference is in the goals and in the outcome. Where the job is, on the other hand, it's basically defined as a regular part-time, full-time position where you get paid to do it. And it is the outcome and the goal are different. A lot of times people don't have that purpose to continue with the job. And this is where a career comes into a play here, where I would like at the end of my presentation to leave you thinking about your purpose. Why am I in pharmacy? Why I am a pharmacist? So to be honest, all fresh graduates, when we first graduate, or when we are in school, we spend our time in school on like the survival mode. So you're just trying to pass an exam after an exam and keep plugging into it to the next semester, thinking that you're going to be the happiest person after every semester ends. But what we don't learn in school is actually how to transform our degree into a career. So Helen found herself unfulfilled and not happy with her current job. She found that she did not find a purpose. She doesn't have a purpose to fuel her to move on to the next level in her life. So she decided to pursue a residency, a more challenging step. And because she knew that this is the only way to expand her options, she decided to apply. Well, do you think this is the way? Well, let's see. Throughout my presentation, I really want you to look at this book as a very valuable book that can be applied anywhere in your life, even if you're a student or you're working in a pharmacy or any other career. It's a great book by Simon Sinek, Start with Why. And throughout my presentation, I actually used this book to articulate my life lessons and make it a little bit more applicable for you to see. As pharmacists, we are all striving to have a workplace where we feel fulfilled, where you want to focus on being doing good and focus on how to be happy at your job, going back home every day and feeling that you were happy at your job and you were part of something bigger than yourself. And this is your purpose. This is your why. So this book really focuses on starting with your why and finding your why. Why do you want to do what you do? What is your purpose? Now in school, at your current stage in life, your school teach you what to do as a pharmacist, how to do pharmacy, but they never teach you why do you do pharmacy, because that comes from the heart and it comes from the gut, your inner gut. And it feels right to do it. You cannot really describe a lot of times why you do pharmacy. Many times it just feels right. And unfortunately, in our society, that the society look at our degree as a label for us and look at our degree as to find it or to define our status. But really, sometimes we find ourselves lost after graduation, or we find ourselves that we're heading in the wrong direction. But really, the only way to shut down that noise is to know your purpose. This is it's called the golden circle, defined by Simon Sinek. So successful people actually start with inward out. So they start with the why, they want to do something, and then they look for how to do it and what to do. Unfortunately, many of us, including myself, we started from what, going back, going inward. So successful people start outward, I'm sorry, where unfortunately 90% of us start with what, and we try to define our why. And that's okay, but it is your time now. You do have time to really find your purpose. I urge you, if you don't know what is your purpose now for being a pharmacist, going to pharmacy school, try to look for it. How you can experiment different opportunities. Not necessarily that it is pharmacy related. It can be anything. And a lot of times, these different experiences are actually what can help us to spark something in us and challenge us in a way to use our creative thinking. And after that, you may use that creative thinking and translate it into your why you are in pharmacy school and why do you want to be a pharmacist. And just be aware that your purpose can really change from time to time. And that is okay. Scientifically, you know that, I don't know if you know, but scientifically, our brain takes about 3 decades to fully mature. So not until we are in our 30s where we actually have a fully mature, well-developed brain. So because of that, this allows us to really build and learn new skills and very quickly and effectively. So this is your era now. This is your time to really challenge yourself to learn new skills and try to find your purpose. I wanted to summarize my journey in my career in in these three concepts. Okay, I try to simplify it. What do I want to have my audience and my students leave with today? So the first step really is to find your purpose. And once you find your purpose, you will feel passionate about your mission, and the outcome will actually be bigger than yourself. You always need to seek new opportunities. How to do that? Be open for networking. Networking is one of the uh, most important things for you to start work on early on in your career, because this is the only way where it can open for you new opportunities that is not necessarily in pharmacy, but it also can teach you so many skills that you really did not know that you have. And after you find your purpose and you actually found opportunities and built yourself, you will make a momentum. You will create a momentum where people will actually look at you and want to be like you. And they want you lead others and inspire others to do what you do, and to be who you are. Now, of course, I also want you to think about innovation. Innovation is one of the most important things um, to think about in your career. Why? Because innovative people are the ones who are forward thinkers. They are experimental. They always think ahead. They always want to experiment new ideas, and they're not afraid of failure. They actually celebrate failure because failures are only opportunities for growth. They're not actually a failure, but they're opportunities for growth. And innovative people, they own their mistakes. They admit it, they own it, and they try to correct it. But they're not stuck there. They don't just keep thinking about their mistakes. They forget the past. Remember, they are forward thinkers. So they move on, they keep these mistakes behind them, and they forget the past and they move forward. But above all, with all your innovative ideas, you really need to believe in your idea. Because if you do not believe in your idea, you cannot really ask other people to support it and to help you grow. You have to believe in it truly and honestly. And this is how you will make others as well help you and want to walk your walk and talk yourself. Now, of course, throughout my journey, I had many obstacles, but it is your choice if you want to look at these obstacles as opportunities or just obstacles. So, just to give you an example of my journey here, being in the US, I actually started my going to pharmacy school, and I had children during my pharmacy school. I did marry at a younger age, but that actually did not really stop me. I actually I focused on my goals of being a pharmacist. So I did have many obstacles in my day-to-day life, but actually I looked at them as an opportunity for me to be stronger at what I do and to build this resilience to be able to handle anything else later in life. So what you really need to ask yourself, what when you start a new career or start a new opportunity, know what you are not good at, not what you're good at. Know what you're not good at. What is your weakness? Once you know your weakness, You need to admit it. And you really need to say it out loud to your colleagues, to your spouses, to your family, to your boss, to your director. That is okay 100%. Because admitting it, it is not a sign of weakness. It's actually a sign of true maturity. Once you know what you are not good at, you're going to need to seek opportunities of how to learn this new skill or how to be better at what you do. And then you want to give it all you have, all your time, all your passion, all your energy. But along the way, don't forget to enjoy the journey. You really need to have fun with the process. If you don't have fun and laugh out loud and laugh at every mistake that you do and take it all serious, that will drain your energy. And actually, it won't give you a lot of, it can drain your energy and drain your passion as well. And then you will feel, maybe sometimes you feel like, oh, why am I doing this? But I can actually, knowing that it is fun to learn new skills and you're happy to learn new skills, you actually are enjoying the journey and enjoying every block that you see in front of you. But you need to be patient. Things doesn't happen over time. When you graduated from school, it doesn't mean that this is it. It's only the beginning. Your school gives you the skills necessary to be able to learn new ideas. You build some form of a mindset of how to apply a knowledge, of how to read a book, of how to summarize a concept. But it doesn't teach you much on how to deal with challenges. That's why you really need to be patient. Going through life, it takes time, and knowing your purpose can change that over time. That will help you. Sometimes you may start with a purpose A, end up with a purpose C, which is completely fine because we are moving along our career and we are seeing different experiences and we're evolving. And this is a sign of maturity that you're growing. So you really need to be patient. Things doesn't happen over time. It takes time. But you have to be consistent. What I mean by consistent is even if you make small, consistent steps forward, it's better than giving your full speed and full energy all at once that is interrupted and that's not consistent. The full speed that's interrupted doesn't get you anywhere. Actually, small, consistent steps will actually get you to the final line. And by final line, I mean exploring a new journey and looking for the next step in your life. Because you don't want to have a final destiny in your career. You always need to look for an opportunity that moves you to the next step, that develop your thinking, and that makes you a better person and a better version of yourself. You need to be consistent, 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 and you need to be disciplined. And the goal here, when you're moving throughout your career, is always to be a better version of yourself, of the person you were yesterday. You are not competing with anyone to be better than any person. You are your competition. Look at this way. Look at your career. Look at your education. Look at your skill set that you're learning. That you are competing with yourself, not with anyone, because you are an individual and you are unique and you are talented, and that's how you basically cherish yourself and value yourself. So throughout your career, I kept in mind, or not really kept in mind, but with the help of reading, I read a lot of books about how to overcome challenges, how to become better self, how to become a better person in dealing with different challenges, in balancing life, balancing being a mom, balancing being a student, balancing being an intern early on in my career, and then being a professional and moving on to the next step. You really need to think about yourself as a business. So if you are building a company, what are the three important things that business has. And Simon Sinek in his book actually really uh, the, defined us as a business very well. And I used his words that really helped me to articulate how I did it. And I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm not stopping there. I'm still trying to figure out myself every single day. So you really, as to be a good business, if you are a business, you have to build trust. And how to build trust is basically by um, matching your behaviors and actions, matching your words. And you need to be consistent with your actions and behaviors and reactions because people do trust stable, consistent environments. And that's how you build trust with your employees, with your friends, and with your boss. And you really need to be authentic. So, what does it mean, being authentic? Authentic is a very charming word, to be honest. Authentic is meaning that is when you as a person, your actions matches your values and your beliefs. And this is where authenticity comes from. And to being authentic, it can actually help you to build a sustainable business model. So you are a business and you need to be sustained. You have to have a sustainable business model. You don't want to be successful this year and next year you fail and you don't know how to get out. We're always going to go into this route of success, failure, which is completely fine. Life is not a straightforward line. But always remember, you need to be authentic. You do not want to fit in other people's pre-designed clothing or shoes. You are who you are, and people need to accept you for who you are. As long as in your mind you have this purpose in being a pharmacist, and you will be able to find your authentic self. At times, I living in the U.S., I lost myself trying to fit in a society as a minority Muslim. But the older I got, I understood that actually matching my behaviors to my beliefs as a Muslim, hijabi, Arab American woman actually makes me more charming and makes me more powerful. Actually, it did empower me to have my own identity, my own actions, and using my values to match my business model and to match my actions every day actually made me a better trustworthy person and more authentic who doesn't look like anyone. And being unique is something good. Being different is something good. It doesn't mean to be successful you have to match other people's roads or walk the walk of other people's predefined career paths or success. You define your success, and you are the only one responsible for your own purpose. And when you know how people can trust you as a business, being authentic, you actually brand yourself. So Doreen did touch on branding. What does branding mean? Branding mean is that we're a successful business. When you are seeing a sign, when I see a hijabi Muslim woman, I see 1, 2, 3. I see certain values. So I define my values by my actions and I build my own branding. Being a pharmacist who is hijabi, Arab, and living in the US. So I always keep that in mind. So you will find when you build your own brand and be authentic and trustworthy, you'll find many people who will actually share your ideas and who will follow your ideas. You will find a place to work where they appreciate you for who you are. At the end of my presentation today, I do want you to think about this quote from Warren Buffett. He's one of the most successful businessmen and a very experienced and very influential. We don't really have to be smarter than anybody else. Remember that. You just need to be just more disciplined then the rest. And that being disciplined and being consistent are good enough and strong enough statements to help you move with your career forward. So I hope that I left you with certain traits, skills, and some values that you really need to have in order to move forward with your career. But at the end of the day, you find your purpose and you find how you want to do this. Now, there is no like magic recipe that I can provide it for you, but I can tell you that building a trust, being authentic, it will help you to build a brand and be consistent and be disciplined. Now, what do you think Helen's next step would be? What do you decide? And at the end of my presentation, I really want to acknowledge and thank you, Dr. Osama Safara, and thank you, IBPN Network. If you're looking for a place where you're trying to search for your purpose and trying to find what pharmacy is all about and what we have, please explore IBPN Network. We have so many cool ideas, cool research, crazy ideas where you are more than welcome to explore and try if you don't, if you haven't already. And the two listservs that I do recommend for you as students, we do have the listserv, student listserv in the IDPN network. And my own listserv is the patient support listserv, where we explore ways to help patients be better, have a better well-being, and applying all the skills and clinical settings to help patients be better. So join me there, join IDPN Network, and thank you, Dr. Osama Sabora, for acknowledging me to be part of this conference. And thank you.